So Anthony Mackie was giving an interview just
Oh yeah, this is our
recently.
last male topic.
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie.
He's quoted as saying the American male is dead. So Parks, I sent you the video if you want to like play that.
The American male?
Yeah. So he.
What do you mean? Oh well,
y'all, I guess. The concept of masculinity, I'm sure. So we'll listen to him.
Right, let's hear this. Man.
Let's see what old Anthony Mackie has to say, huh?
And then
keep my boys humble. Like my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit. I'm like your kids. And no, I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid. Mm-hmm. Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other one,
Shout out to Ryan Clark.
Yo, don't make dad mad. Because once you get one that's right, he gonna straighten the other ones out. Mm-hmm. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities, for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you.
I like that.
They will always open the door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night, this alarm is on, you text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world, jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing.
All right.
This sounds like much more of a conversation about being a good father than
I'm like, what?
American masculinity being dead.
I wait for the masculinity part.
Yeah.
I don't know what so that's what I was wondering, like, what did he mean by saying over the last 20 years, like, has killed the American male and the idea of masculinity? But then also, do you guys agree with that statement of when you leave the house, you leave your 15-year-old in charge? Is that like kind of hoisting too much responsibility on a child's shoulders?
No, I don't think so. I'm with him with that. I mean, I don't have a 15-year-old, male in the house, but yeah, at that age, that's what I was. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they expect you to be the man of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look like shit, like he's saying, yo, make sure the doors is locked, make sure the alarm is on, make sure the windows are on. Like that's responsibility.
He's not talking about like going out and getting a high earning salary and
No, I don't mean
digging wells
No, I don't mean that. I mean like being like the protector of the house. Like should somebody come inside kind of thing? Like should an intruder come over?
No, he's just saying be more responsible.
He's just saying you just got to do the check, the fucking checks of the house before you go to bed. One of your brothers.
Listen, I was left alone. Okay, all I had was dogs and cats and fucking birds and fish. Okay, that's who looked after me.
You was in the woods somewhere.
I was not in the woods. I was in Toronto.
He was in the woods of Toronto.
I was living in Toronto proper. Okay, it was the city.
Were you in the cabin?
No, I wasn't in a fucking cabin.
You know how the Russians do when they come here? They go deep in the woods.
I was not in the woods.
What's our deep dive here?
It sounds like he was doing some great father talk.
Yeah.
I think that was.
I thought that was going to be something else.
It's just his statement saying the American male is dead and the idea of masculinity is dead and all that other stuff. Like it just had people interpreting it just different ways.
In this conversation, that sounds like a clickbait headline.
Yeah,
but if you want to talk about is American masculinity dead, I don't think so. I think that they're
Yes.
Okay.
All right, let's hear it.
Women has taken on the role of American masculinity in men. And not intentionally, it's just that's what's being pushed to us. Because it's being highlighted that women are now the masculine one in relationships when there's still good men out there not being highlighted and good men that believe in responsibility and being a man in a relationship.
Isn't part of being a good man not being highlighted for being a good man?
Not to be a dick. Because I'm not trying to be a dick and I'm not trying to harp on things. This was my fucking point with that Doechii straight man red flag conversation.
Let's go.
This was the exact
It's being
point.
highlighted.
What he's saying is that, there are still men.
Talk about it.
Men.
Talk about it.
Whatever your interpretation of that is, he described his. A lot of men agree with
he just
that.
Okay.
there are still men.
That's not
out
being
there.
erased, though. You think what he described as being a man is being erased?
No, and hold on one second here. What you're alluding
I
to,
think
I
can't land.
I
So
know
you can't
that.
tell me what
it's okay.
You can't tell me what I'm alluding to if I can't land.
I'm basing it on the last conversation that we had about this, where you landed all over the place.
But we're having a new conversation, and I'm making a point that connects full circle. The depiction of what a man looks like, many people, and I said this in that Dochi conversation, feel that there's an erasure happening with that. So when you hear somebody say, hey, I'm raising mine like this, like men, like some people still take pride in whatever that interpretation of man is. But to act like when you pick up a newspaper, a magazine, hear from prominent black people, fucking see on TV, see in movies that version of man is
No
not
longer
being
exists?
represented
Yeah.
properly, like there's a reason for it, and that Dochi comment is part of it. She has nothing to do with this, so I don't want to get back to her, but that's why y'all that were like, oh, y'all making a big deal out of nothing. Some people were making a big deal out of it because they see a different picture happening over the years.
They tying it to the other shit.
Our children, I mean, we have children that we're raising, and what they're learning is not, what they're learning is on the contrary of what's happening in the home.
They'll show you a man sucking another man's dick today before they show you a man acting like a man.
Exactly.
What does acting like a man mean?
Acting like a man, being responsible.
I keep saying that's open for your own interpretation.
It is, and so
many people agree with some of the things that he laid out. Which is, hey, yes, I'm 15 years old. Yes, there's older people, older women, adults in the house. But none of that matters to a man. A man is going to be a man at all points in time.
Preach, nigga.
So yeah, that's me telling my son, hey, when you get a job at 16, this is what you do when you get paid. You take that money home.
Yes.
Yeah, you live with your mom,
Yes.
and you be the man of the house. If there's no man in there, if she's not married, if there's nobody else there, that's your job.
Yes.
Make sure these bills are paid. Help mom in any way you possibly can, because that's what a man does. And so for you niggas to act like there's not an erasure happening, I don't understand it.
Let Mel
I don't understand.
Let Mel go, and I want to say.
I don't feel like the Doshi conversation applies here, because what she was describing her preference. And if you're saying that she's describing a type of man that lacks masculinity, then that would lend to the argument.
There's an attack on straight men.
Hold on,
I'm not trying to interpret it from her.
Well,
There's an attack on strong, straight men. Period. I'm not trying to fucking read through cryptic notes about how you feel about some shit.
That is a fact.
Okay.
You are 100% correct. I told you back when we was over at Park's crib, I said, yo, if you ever want to test that theory, go search straight black man on Twitter and put it in quotes. And you went and looked and was like, oh, this is pissing me off. Like that's just been a thing.
I know, but anytime that's a thing.
But that's what I'm saying.
Anytime we start hearing from somebody who might share in those views, every excuse is made for him.
Every excuse.
Every excuse is made for him.
They start bringing up different shit that has nothing to do with the topic. About
hey, how about we
women
just
stuffing over the year? Like,
yeah, how about we just eliminate the excuses and say there are some people that share in the ideology that these niggas are red flags and they're dangerous and we rather be around a bear. That's the point of the fucking bear conversation again.
It's really not. It's really not.
A man is telling you something.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something as having daughters.
Hmm?
What are the things that you
Even that's the point.
Oh my God.
Why you can't hear from a man that don't have a daughter?
Let her cook, Joe.
Can I fucking talk?
Yes, I'm sorry.
And because having a daughter changes your perspective on a lot of things.
Thank you fucking
I want
very
to tell you
much.
that.
Okay.
But not mine.
Ice, but wait, that is the point.
Joe.
Niggas don't need a daughter to qualify. We speaking as men.
Joe, I hear you. I'm telling you, as a man with a daughter,
we got that part.
But you can't.
We're talking about just men.
I know you yelling, but
we're just talking about men.
I understand.
We're not talking about your daughter, your mom, your sister. We got that part. This conversation started and should end with men telling you about men and the erasure of men.
Yes.
You don't need to speak to somebody with a daughter to see how a man feels. Speak to a fucking man.
New Joe Budden.